Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee, and this is Randy, and we're going to bring you a special episode today of All Rabbits All the Time. And there is something going on in Frederick that we are not sure about yet, but we're looking into, and that is the shelter has about 20 rabbits. So if you've been considering adopting a rabbit, today is your day. We're going to show you at least half of those. But we have had several stray rabbits and rabbits with tattooed ears from 4-H projects dumped at farms and on the side of the road. So we really need your help in finding out where the problem is with rabbits, where are the people that are having trouble caring for the rabbits, so that we can stem the tide of this population problem, because it really does hurt the rabbits. Not many people think of coming to the shelter to look for a rabbit, so we hope we can change that. Our first guest is Buddha, and Buddha is an adult rabbit with an English spot coat pattern. Because he was found in a park, we don't know if he is a pure English spot, but as pet rabbits go, it doesn't matter. He will be neutered, and his beauty speaks for itself. Buddha in particular, we named him, so he will not care if you change his name, is a very easy to handle rabbit. And you might imagine that a rabbit found stray in a park that walks up to strangers is pretty friendly. So I think that he is going to make someone a very nice pet. And certainly if you're interested in rabbits, then now is the time to come down to the shelter and see our wide selection. We have changed our puppy room into a rabbit room, and so there's plenty of space for you and your family to come in and see the rabbits that are here. Our next guest is Petunia, and Petunia is a chinchilla-colored bunny that was found in the park with Buddha. So we do have foster homes that help us take care of rabbits, and one of the reasons we need that is since Buddha and Petunia were found together, there's always the possibility that Petunia is already pregnant. So we have the luxury of having wonderful volunteers that will help us in that inevitability. But if she's not, then she will be spayed before she's adopted, just like all of our dogs and cats. And with female rabbits, it does make a better pet to spay them because they can be quite territorial over their nest if you don't. So it is something that helps them out health-wise as well, and your veterinarian can talk to you about that in detail if you are considering adopting a rabbit. If you're interested in finding out more about their behavior and the needs that you would meet with a cage and enclosure, give us a call. We can refer you to some of our bunny experts, and they will tell you everything you need to know. Our next guest is Rue, and Rue is a Rex bunny, which if you don't know what that is, they're very plush coated, very soft, and very thick under fur only instead of having lots of guard hairs, and they are just beautiful, beautiful rabbits. Rue also has the English spot pattern, and obviously he's black and white, and he's a little bit tinier than our other rabbits. He was found by someone at a garage sale, and the best I can tell you about this secondhand story is that someone in Washington County had 50-some rabbits. They gave a handful to a friend who was having a garage sale. They left the rabbit cage outside overnight, and it filled with water. And a very kind lady who lives in Frederick County, who happened to be at the garage sale, rescued the bunnies, found homes for 4 of them, and brought us this very last one. She does have her own rabbit at home, so she wasn't able to keep them all. But it is still part of this problem that we're having right now with rabbits. And if you have any information about people who are having trouble caring for the rabbits, or if you know anything about the rabbits that have been dropped off at the park, or one group of rabbits was dropped off in someone's goat barn. So we would appreciate any information you have so that we can help people and stop the problem before this population of rabbits grows any greater or any more rabbits are put in danger. We certainly don't have room for more, And we certainly specialize in cats and dogs, but we will help any animals in need in Frederick, and this rabbit situation is growing. Our next guest is Rocky, and Rocky is another black and white, but rather than the English spot pattern, he's called a Dutch rabbit. And this is the rabbit that we all probably remember as childhood pets. Well, those of us that are as old as Randy and I are. These were very popular pets when we were kids, often sold in pet stores. And they're relatively small as rabbits go, not quite as small as the newfangled dwarfs, but they also are pretty resilient and friendly, so they can make really nice pets. And Rocky, like all of our other bunnies, will be neutered before adoption. And we will share with you when you come in all the information we have about Rocky. He was owned by a family who gave him away because they're moving. And it is harder for us to give you information about rabbits that we found as strays, but of course we have a veterinarian at the shelter, and she examines them and makes a guesstimate about their age, and we share everything we can with you about them medically. We just don't know enough about their past to make any assumptions about how they've lived. Obviously the rabbits that were found in the park and walked up to people are friendly, and this little guy, Rocky, was living in a family, so we can share his other pet experience and anything that the family provided him before he came to us. Our next guest is Carlton, and Carlton is another chinchilla-colored rabbit. He's a little petite, so though he is an adult, he's going to remain small like he is, and of course we'll neuter him as well before adoption. And it's probably important to think about your lifestyle when you decide what kind of pet to get. In fact, it's pretty critical. Rabbits can stay home alone while you're at work. One of the things you want to consider, though, is how much space you can give them, because rabbits are very agile and fit. You can check out our Facebook page and see some agility rabbits and some rabbits doing their little happy dance, and it'll really give you an idea about how they move about and what kind of space you need to provide. If you are rabbit experienced, then by all means, come on down and see the rabbits that we have and see if one is a good match for you. Carlton was also found as a stray. He was found by a family, and it took them a couple of days to get him to come to them and be captured, but then he did. So we don't know his exact age, but we'll share with you everything we've done for him medically. And in case you can hear in the background the guinea pig singing, we don't just have rabbits, we don't just have cats and dogs, but we also have guinea pigs and hamsters and other pets. So hopefully you'll always think of the shelter when you're getting ready to add a pet. We may have the one you're looking for. And we have plenty more rabbits, which we'll show you in just a moment. We're going to take a short break and be back with more bunnies, and hope you join us then.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Are you looking for that perfect spot for your child's next birthday party? Look no farther. Frederick County Parks and Recreation can fulfill all your birthday party needs. Choose from any of our rec center locations. Your party rental includes tables, chairs, paper products, on-site facility supervisor, and much more. Pricing for our parties is $120 for 2 hours in our rec room, or $170 for 2 hours in our rec room and gymnasium. For more information and availability, call 301-600-2936 or visit us on the web at www.recreator.com.
Before, addiction and depression kept me from living my life. And now, every step I take in recovery benefits everyone. There are many options that make the road to recovery more accessible. It begins with the first step. Join the Voices for Recovery. For information and treatment referral for you or someone you love, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Welcome back to Pet Pals. We are back with some more adoptable rabbits at Frederick County Animal Control and Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue. And if you weren't here for the first half of our show, then we need to update you. Frederick County Animal Control and Adoption Center has over 21 rabbits at the moment. This is unusual for us, and as we are usually set up to take care of dogs and cats, we're pretty busy in the bunny room. We have changed our puppy room into a bunny room, and we welcome you to come and look and see if maybe a rabbit's the right pet for you. Our next guest is Watson, and Watson is also a Rex bunny. He is a beautiful black and white pattern called English Spot, and he's kind of tiny. And Watson came to us also as a stray rabbit. So over half the rabbits that we have here today are rabbits that were found running out and about in Frederick. And that's quite dangerous for rabbits. Not only are there some illnesses that they can contract, which we have a vet on staff who checks them out for, but they are also prey animals, and that means that they could be hurt by hawks, by dogs, by cats. It's a pretty dangerous world out there for domesticated rabbits. So we are happy that they were found and brought to the safety of the shelter. Our next guest is Huey, and Huey is another Dutch bunny. He is definitely a shelter favorite because he is easy to approach, confident, calm, friendly. He's going to make someone a wonderful pet. In fact, he already has done so. Huey came to us from a family that no longer wanted to take care of him. And it is definitely something to consider if you are thinking about getting a rabbit, that they live 10 to 15 years are possible. So you really need to have the same commitment you would for any pet, no matter how long you have the rabbit. They are in some ways easier to take care of than dogs or cats because you're not going to be required to get a rabies shot. You're not going to have to walk them around the neighborhood to keep them happy. But they definitely need a lot of exercise and a lot of attention from you, especially if you only have one. And there is some initial financial outlay to build or buy an enclosure that's suitable for a bunny to live in. So if you have any questions about what bunnies need, then certainly call us. We can put you in touch with experts. We can tell you what we know. And we would like to find homes for all of the 21 rabbits that we have in the shelter as quickly as possible. With winter coming, we're definitely going to need the space for dogs and cats. But also, winter is not a common time for people to think about getting a rabbit. They're more commonly thought of at spring. There's no reason for that because rabbits actually really like the cold weather. So if you are interested in adopting a rabbit, please think of the shelter first and we will help you out. Our next guest is Zoom. And Zoom is English Spot patterned, but is mixed lion head. And if you haven't heard of a lion head rabbit, you really should look them up on Google. They're super cute. And what Zoom's lion head ancestry does for him is gives him fluffy little hair around his head and face. He is also very sweet and a rather petite rabbit. So if you would like to meet him, please come by the shelter. And another thing that you should consider, let's say you've never wanted a rabbit. If you go to petfinder.com and find Zoom's profile on there by typing in your zip code and looking at the rabbits near you, and share it on your social networking pages, or even print out the picture and post it at work if you're able to do that, or take it to your local grocery store or even a hobby shop and post the profile. What we gain out of that is exposure for the shelter, but what Zoom could gain is a new home. There are many people who don't know where our shelter is, may not know that they were thinking of getting a rabbit until they see a super cute one like this, or may not realize that the shelter has rabbits. So you help us by putting the word out there and sharing pictures of our animals with anyone that you know that might be interested. Our next guest is Binky, and Binky is a lop rabbit. Her ears fold down, and some people find that quite endearing, and certainly it does make her cute. She also happens to be a very sweet little rabbit. We have already spayed her, so she is ready to go to her new home as soon as someone falls in love with her. If you have been thinking about getting a rabbit, then because of our rabbit population, then now is the time as far as we're concerned. But if you're not sure if now is the right time, you can still come by and meet them, spend time with them, talk to our rabbit experts, and see if a rabbit fits with your lifestyle. Binky is certainly cute enough to win you over, but it is important to think carefully about adding a rabbit to your home. And if you go to the Facebook page, you can see a little video of rabbits doing their happy dance, which is called Binkying. So I'm pretty sure that's how Binky got her name, and perhaps she will show you some of her dancing prowess while you're watching her right now. She's very sweet, outgoing, as you can see, willing to interact, and she's going to make somebody a really great pet. So I hope that you have enjoyed meeting some of our rabbits today. At Frederick County Animal Control and Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue, we often have animals that you would not expect to find at a typical animal shelter. But in case you can't come by as often as you might like, we have a wish list, which means if there is a type of pet that you would like to have and we get that pet, we can let you know if you give us your contact information for our wish list. We are happy to do that. Sometimes people call and ask, can we call them next time we get puppies? And that we don't do, because we get about 300 a year. They're all different breeds and sizes. They go pretty quickly by people who come by the shelter. But if there is some exotic animal or special breed of dog that you want, then we are happy to help. Let's say you've always wanted a German Shorthair Pointer, or you really need to get a certain kind of bird, then we are happy to help out. And often those types of animals come through the shelter. Maybe not so many a year, but enough that if you're willing to wait, we can make the perfect match. If you think that Binky or any of the rabbits you've seen today would make a good match for you or someone that you know, then please share the link at the bottom of your screen for this episode of Pet Pals with anyone you think might be interested. That really helps us out. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.